Hey team, we are briefly going to go over the rack in Prosser Auditorium. It hasn't had, I don't think, any really significant updates since the last video that we did, but I just wanted to go over a few things or reiterate a few things since the last video. So up at the top you have your receivers. So those are for the handheld microphones and the lapel microphones that are on the charging station on the booth. You can see that they are color coordinated and they are labeled. So for example, this receiver is for the red handheld one that you see over there. That is a not so frequent but occasional troubleshooting tool that we'll use on occasion. For whatever reason, someone presses the wrong button and these stop being synced. So if we ask you when you call us to help troubleshoot if the transmitter is synced to the receiver, that's what we're talking about. Those are the transmitters and here are their receivers. And you know which is which because of the color coordination. If you go down a little ways, you'll see the Apple TV. You're going to control that using the touch panel, so you really don't have to deal with this too much, but if at any point you need to power cycle the Apple TV or something like that, you can reach around and grab the power in the back. We also have the remote on top of it, so if for some reason it's giving you trouble in terms of forcing an update or something like that, you can control it using that remote. Down here we have our volume controls, so you can see that color coordination that we had up at the top. So here's your red handheld, your blue handheld, your orange lapel, your yellow lapel, and you'll just, turn the dials to turn the volume up. Mics 1, 2, 3, and 4 indicate the mic jacks that are built into the stage. So we most frequently use those for our panel discussions where we have our goosenecks up on the stage. So you'll want to remember which gooseneck is in which jack and you'll just go ahead and turn the volume up. We usually don't crank the volume much further than that point, otherwise we start to get feedback in the house. You also have the podium mic for the gooseneck that lives on the podium. Going down a little way, we also have these mic jacks. So these are a nice addition to the rack. Occasionally we'll get a request for an event where they say they want 3 handhelds or 4 handhelds, and we only have handhelds 1 and 2 built into the rack. So you can easily add some microphones using our wireless handheld kits that we built for you by just connecting your XLR cable into these additional jacks and adjusting the volume as needed. Alright, now we can move along to the DVD player here, which control using the rack, using the touch panel. Here is some equipment you usually don't have to touch, but that could be a troubleshooting thing if for whatever reason we tell you, alright, reset the DMPS. This is what we're talking about, and it would be a hardware reset. You're going to need a pen or pencil because it's a recess button, and then it'll take about, being conservative, 5 minutes for the system to come back up. So just give yourself some time if you have to do that hardware reset and allow the system to boot back up. Generally don't do that unless we tell you to do that. Below that we have a blank plate and then the drawer. So the drawer is where we keep the clip-on mics for those lapels. Please make sure that when you are done using the lapel, you remove it from the transmitter and you over-under it nicely and you put it back in the drawer. Please don't ever wrap this around the lapel or anything like that because we want to keep it neat and not kinked and usable. And that's about it. Most of the rest of the rack is do not touch territory. So there you have the rack in Prosser Auditorium.